What's up, guys? Here we are. I think a couple of people were waiting for this stream. Let me just double check my live over here. We are live. There's already like 3 concurrent viewers. There's already 6 likes for this. Seems like someone is already here chatting up. What's up? What's up? Seems like you guys are excited for this one. I suck at backgrounds. I like got any tips? I mean, that's what we're gonna do right now. We're gonna do a background painting tutorial. I suck too, don't worry. So we're gonna figure it out like together. So let me just kind of like get some stuff over here. Name of the software, it's Clip Studio Paint. So is that cloud? It looks that a cloud. It looks a little weird. It is a cloud, so you know it's weird because I suck at backgrounds, bro. I mean, that's why we're gonna redo this one, and we're gonna start soon. So I just announced it on my Discord server. If you guys are in my Discord server, you will see a lot of people working over there for fun. So, anyway, let's do this. Let's do this. So, first and foremost, we're gonna be using a lot of brush. And I basically just did this trial thing, but if you guys go to Gumroad, there's literally a couple of like brush sets that are free by Devin L. Kurtz. She's very like, I love her style, her paintings and whatnot, right? So all of the things that she provided on her Gumroad, which is what you see on screen right now, is literally like for free. You can also follow her, so that you guys could understand how she does her painting. I'm basically just learning from her. Like, I don't know, and I don't want to be a background painter, so I'm gonna try to do my best to simplify everything I can, and kind of like just see what works for me in a faster way. So I'm gonna try to subscribe to her. Yeah. So this is the link that you can follow along. You can also follow her there. You go. So let's proceed. I don't know if like anyone wants to learn background here, but like the key to backgrounds are brushes. Don't don't raw dog it. Like, help yourself with some brush. Grab some tools from Gumroad, from Clip Studio Paint, and basically do your best to find a brush that works for whatever you're painting, right? So like painting is all about having the tools, like um I think that's the basic idea for it. If you have a like a brush that works for everything, whatever you paint, so be it. Like there should be some sort of a brush out there, but like for me, I like to make sure that when I'm painting certain stuff, like I have the proper texture, I have the proper brush for it. I don't need to like really kind of like make everything from scratch, right? So I made this like like last night or today, and I'm gonna redo it for you guys right now, since this is a background class, right? So let me just do it right now. This is our thumbnail. Okay, background. So for me, what I want to do is I'm gonna have to have an overflow frame. Um, I'm gonna set a an overflow frame of maybe 3,200 to 2,000, just so I could have a lot of room. And again, this is not an animation folder. Oh no, so it's just I need just one frame over here. Timeline name is background. Story name, background painting. So let's review a bit with um what kind of basically stuff do I have over here, right? So my shot one, right? Let me just turn this off for you guys. Yeah. So my background, right, is basically a very simple background like this. If I turn off my stuff, it's like this, right? This is my background, right? So from here, I'm gonna have to transfer this background to my to my to this new file over here, and let me just do that right now. It's basically this tree. This is a sketch. This is what I did for the layout, right? So I also wanna kind of like put that. I wanna put that at the center. So I'm gonna group them together, and then I'm gonna name it as sketch, right? And then just to align everything, I'm just gonna align it in the middle of the screen, because I'm gonna use the rest of the composition, the rest of the size of the whole thing, like to my advantage, right? So um yeah. So now let me just go ahead and so the idea for background painting is very simple. Work on, do you monthly subscribe for CSP? I actually do, but you can buy it for one time fee. You know, you can buy it for one time fee, but personally, I think I do. Like I think I'm a yearly subscriber for it, but I remember trying to change that. Try to make like to kind of like make a difference, but I don't want to lose all my files or something, so I don't know how that works. If I want to just kind of like do a monthly thing, no, do just buy it for one time, so I don't know. So anyway, let's go back to this one. um I think the idea over here is I'm gonna create a a simple color palette over here, because I want to kind of like do um I want to make sure I copy my color palette over here. So this is the ground, right? This is the color of the area that's not like a little bit, you know, like a lighter area of the ground or something. I want to use the color of this one for the rocks. And obviously the blue sky over here. I'm just using the color picker over here. Because like if I turn off everything, yeah, I have a lot of stuff over here. Kind of want it to be this super lighter, you know. That's our stuff. What else do we? So what I'm doing right now is I'm just basically setting stuff up. The rest of the thing is basically just a variation of this color, but this is kind of like our color scheme over here. This is where I want to go in terms of the direction of my colors. Also want to add this a little bit of brown over here, just so it could be a two-tone. So that's my color palette, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a first, let me just put this on right here. I'm gonna put this on top, everything, and then layer 3 I'm just gonna use kind of like the sky color over here. Sky. I'm gonna use a gradient tool. And I already have that set up over there. So the only thing I don't know is to kind of like midday sky. I think this is the one that I was using. Yeah. Something like that. I think that's I think something like that work, because you definitely want to still see the horizon line. So after that, I can always adjust that later on, you know. So um let's put that aside. Let's do another layer, and then I'm gonna do ground over here. So for the ground, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do layering. So I think basically the idea of creating backgrounds is all about layering and different colors. So The first one I'm gonna do is to just use the lasso tool, right? And then I'm gonna turn that off. I'm gonna use this color over here. It's our ground, right? And then on top of it, I need to know these areas over here, you know. This one is a sketch, so I don't really have to follow it. So I basically just have a rough idea where this goes, you know. Again, guys, I'm just trying to figure this one out myself right now. I'm not a background painter at all. So like, if I make some mistakes, if you guys have some suggestions you may want to do for me during this stream, feel free. I'll explore it. But I have a set of things that I want to kind of like accomplish today. One of which is to kind of like finish this background painting for you, record the process of it, um, and do all of that stuff, you know. So over here, like that's just the patches of the ground that I want to do, right? So let me turn off the thing again. Let me turn off the sky. And then the patches of the ground, like I said, would be this color. I'm gonna put that in right there, right? So now you have this kind of stuff right now, right? I'm gonna click it so that it just doesn't go over the lines over here, right? So you see it's a little bit jagged, but that's fine. We're gonna fix that. We're gonna do like a painting approach over here. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna do another layer. I'm just gonna do patches over here, right? And then let's turn off that one first. Then we're gonna do the rocks, right? So for the rocks, I'll be very, very honest with you guys. For the rocks, I did this. I downloaded a rock and put it here. That's what I did. You know, like I did not bother trying to figure it out. So I just placed the rock over there. You know? Because, like, for me, life is simple, man. Like, I'm not gonna try to figure everything out. So I have a rock over here. I downloaded these tools from the Clip Studio website, right? So maybe try 3D Blender. I love Ilya. Maybe try. I love you. What? A 3D Blender? Yeah, like I mean, we can, but like the 3D Blender, yes, for sure, we can do that. But like, I just want to kind of like set my stuff over here, like maybe like make this a little bit smaller over here, right? um it's like if we turn on our stuff, It's very, very, very close to the location of my rocks over here. Um, Small, medium, large, kind of like, the vibe of the small, medium, large rock over here. So, but I'm putting it right here so that it's a little bit different, you know. So that's how I approach just doing the rocks. It's a cheat, like use what I'm gonna show you guys is like use simple tools that you can find on the internet. Now that I see the sky a little bit funny right now, I'm gonna wanna do the sky a little bit differently. So like let me just paint over that with a simple gradient tool. Again, the midday sky is what I'm using, right? Maybe do it something right there, right? So that we can still see the yeah. I think that works. At least I think that works for me. Okay. Um and then so we have the rocks, right? So these rocks, um what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna group the rocks together, right? So for me, I'm gonna have to group these two together because they're kind of like in a background, and then I'm gonna have to do this one at the very end over here, and then also I may have to do like a bigger version of this one and flip it and place it right here. Actually, I don't want to flip it because the I'm this is the one I'm copying, so that it just looks like just a rock here. We're kind of like in a very rocky mountain right here, so yeah. So there are three groups of rock. So rock 1, rock 2, rock 3. And the reason why there are three groups of rocks, oh no, this is rock 3, is so I could mix and match because I'm only painting one background. That's what I'm doing. I'm painting just one background, and I'm gonna reuse that in all of my animation. So the reason why I'm layering as well is because of that. Like I want to reuse as much as I could. So again, these rocks. Alternatively, what you can do for the rocks is you can paint it yourself. What you can do is like if you turn that off and then turn on the thing, and then let's say you want to use the color of the rock like this, and then basically do the lasso tool. Like that. And then turn off the thing. Turn off your ground. And then paint that right like that. Then you kind of have like something. You know what I mean? Who would win in a pie eating contest? Bahid JD or Waylin Zhang? Bro, I don't know. I don't know those two people, man. You're trolling or what? So anyway, and then what you will have to do with these rocks are basically just gonna paint the shadows, the lighting for all of them, right? But again, we already have established like rocks that we have used in Clip Studio Paint, so you know I'm just gonna use that, right? So right now, rocks 1, rocks 2, rocks 3, and then what I'm gonna do right now is just paint the ground, right? Or like let me block out the clouds. Clouds. What like bro, I'm actually just doing my animation. So why would I look them up right now? Like I don't, no offense, but I don't care, bro. Like I like that is such a random question to do. Like I'm trying to do and teach an easy anime backgrounds over here, and like what's that? Like I don't know, you know? Like so anyway, clouds. Let me resume. Let me resume this thing. So clouds, and then I'm gonna use these clouds. It's not fully white, but then again, what we're gonna do is we're gonna use some brushes that I showed you guys earlier. You can download. There is a bunch of brushes over here, but there are also like cloud brushes on Clip Studio Paint. So basically, you can find something over here. Effects. I think I have like the thick puffy clouds block in. Yeah. So puffy clouds. Textured brush. Um, yeah. So let's do this clouds over here. Like a puffy clouds, dual edge block. I actually want this one. So just blocking in the clouds. Right now. So when we summon, now we have that. This is just a blocking phase. We're just blocking the brush that we have over here, right? Where we want these clouds to be at. Again, like I'm just using brushes that I found on in the internet, right? And the most important thing are like making sure that you know where these things are, you know, like where you wanna put things, um, like in your art, right? But you can see that it barely, kind of like it barely is seen in the scene anyway, so it's not like super important, but like I still wanna kind of do it, you know. So this is a very simple stage, right? We have all the blocking in, we have the clouds, we have the rock, we have the ground, we have the sky. So now we're just gonna do some sort of painting around this thing, like using this colors over here, right? So over here, um, I have a brush called what's my brush called in the background. I have like I like this brush that's called, and again this is downloaded from the website I showed you guys earlier. um Color variation blocking brush is the one I kind of like want to use, right? So on the ground I'm gonna create a folder, another layer on top of the ground, right? I'm gonna change the color of this one, change over here. Yeah, so see there's a little bit of change in this thing, you know. So I'm just blocking it out, like just so it looks a little bit better, you know. And then I'm also kind of like just putting in some sort of what do you call this? I'm switching between uh color picking the scene, and then see like what does that do into my scene. I'm just focusing on the ground right now. Like, now I'm adding a little bit of color to it. I also want to add a little bit of darker color. That's basically this hue but a little bit darker, just so I could start to see some sort of different variation of this. You know. Again, this one, like, I'm just trying to figure things out, guys. Like, I'm doing mostly trial and error for this one, so I don't want to say I don't know what I'm doing because I'm trying things out. But like, there's no, like, painting for me. There's no, I guess, no rules. If that is kind of like true, kind of like no kind of like rules. You just go with the flow, kind of thing. Like, if someone could show me how to actually do this one, that would be great. But now I'm just focused on maybe adding a little bit of this color as well, here and there. Not too much, but there. Like, that's our ground. Hello, bro. I'm from India. Love your videos. I have a question regarding anime background. How can I make background like anime called Your Name or Suzune? Like right now, bro. I'm just doing my best to actually do that right now. Like, I'm not an anime background artist. Like, I'm an animator. So I'm doing simple backgrounds that would probably work on my own stuff, right? So that's what I'm just doing right now, right? So right now, after I do the color variation blocking brush, like, I'm also gonna do the fill dirt block in over here, which is this dirt. So, like, right now this brush is super super nice, like because this is what makes the whole thing like look like a dirt, you know. Yeah, there are much more like capable people who can teach you how to do that, bro. Like I'm not an expert on it. I'm not a background artist. I'm just trying my best to kind of like do a background for my own animation. That's all I'm doing right now. So yeah, for this one next, I think I'm kind of like happy with that one. I may add something on that later on, so I'm gonna just do another layer over here, and I'm gonna start to just draw on top of this kind of like patches of things that I did earlier, just to kind of like smoothen out these edges that with the brush that I did, you know. Not everything needs to be super super smooth for this one, um, but good enough so that it doesn't um, look like this, you know. So like that's what I'm doing right now is like I'm just blocking out the dirt, smoothing it out. Like that's on top of the thing, and I'm also kind of just gonna add like some sort of like lighting. Not this is not lighting. These are patches, right? And obviously you don't want that patches to look like, you know, it's just the same thing, you know. Before we add the kind of like the details, like let me just go over everything right now. Yeah, I would love to learn how to do that, bro. Like, especially if you wanna make something cool, like that, your name anime like that. Like, but for me, it's good to learn, but like you have to focus, cause like, is that what you wanna do, or you wanna animate? You know what I mean? So for me, I wanna animate, um, like a lot, and backgrounds are part of animation, but I don't want to be super expert on backgrounds that I kind of lose my animation touch, you know. Like I still want to kind of like be able to animate and do kind of like both, but like my focus is animation, man. So yeah, so right now it's just brushes. Like what's saving me are brushes right now, you know. You see, it's smoothen out. It's nice. Does it look good? I don't know. You know, like you guys be the judge of it and whatnot. Somebody said, "Oh, what are those? Or clouds or something?" It looks weird. A while ago, I'm like, okay, yeah, of course, man. I will respond to people who are actually asking genuine questions. There's someone who asked like pie eating contest. I want to kind of like respond to that, but like I don't know those people, and like I don't know what, like, you know, I don't know what who those people are. I don't know why I should care. You know, like I'm not like I don't. Oh, I'm not aware. Should I know them? You know, like uh but I don't understand why I should know them, you know. So you have no idea how much I need to learn how to lay out backgrounds. I start a background and end up something else which is more fun. Nice. Your background stone looks like Valorant graphics type. Uh, yeah, like it's the stone basically is just like it's just a brush. Like I literally just did that a while ago, you know. Like I just copy pasted it. So this is kind of like my field right now. Still kind of looks a little bit not nice for me. Um, it's decent, right? But now we're gonna add some details in it. You know, kind of wanna add some variations on it, like kind of like this brush that field dirt blocking is like this is the next brush that I'm using. It's just basically like me adding like more finer detail to this brush, to this ground, especially on the white ones, like where it transitions to, to the whole thing, right? Kind of want to add that there. What's important over here, guys, is also references. Like you can like I did this already a while ago, so like I kind of know what I want to do, but obviously um references are very important, you know. Especially like I think you know references. You have to use references, especially if you haven't done something like in a while, you know. So I'm gonna turn the darkness of this brush a little bit more so that I could just adjust it right here. Like some cracking. But the idea again, guys, is the idea that I'm trying to get over here is that I'm using a lot of tools for this one. Right now, I'm gonna try to redo my brushes and my ground right here. Try to add a little bit more variation to the color of the ground, you know. And then maybe also here add that variation of color. Because that definitely will add to the appeal of the background, you know. And then now I have what I have over here is a rock texture brush, and I use a darker color to kind of like just pass some of this through over here. I don't know if it looks good, but yeah, hi Engine 2. So yeah, I think for me, just adding some texture here and there could add a little bit more to the scene, you know, so that it doesn't look like it doesn't look flat. The texture really helps, you know. Especially on the edges. Is it a must to have Adobe After Effects? It's the preferred. I don't think it's a must, you know. There like I'm also thinking of like maybe doing a tutorial on how to do compositing on, let's say, Clip Studio Paint, because you're already in Clip Studio Paint. You kind of don't want to use any other software at that point, right? So um yeah, so now I think the ground is done. So for me, I'm gonna add like a little bit of painterly stuff over here. Painterly blocking brush, you know, like just a little bit more, kind of like trying to clean up the whole vibe of this one. Some of this, some of the lines that I created seem like out of place. Could be a little bit too much. I'm basically painting on top of everything, but I have like, you know, layering and all that stuff, so anyway, I think I'm okay with that. I'm happy. I'm pretty kind of like happy, not fully, but I can be convinced that this is a good ground. Again, we're not trying to go crazy, guys. We're trying to just keep it simple. You know, like I could be happy with this background, you know, this ground over here. Now we're gonna proceed with adding some texture on the rocks. So for this one, it's simple. I'm just gonna go to the texture of the rock over here, and then I add some. Actually, before I add it, I'm gonna have to do a clipping mask, something like that. Something simple just to make it look a little bit better. And I kind of wanna change this change the luminosity over it, like lighten it up a little bit because they're in the background, super background, so I don't want a little I want the rocks to be kind of lost in the light. So that's why I adjusted the back the I adjusted the background on that. So I'm just gonna use this one, this light. Don't do too much. Just a little bit here and there. Like it would look weird, you know. And you can also add filter to that, blur it a bit. Actually, no, you don't need to blur it. Just smoothen it out, maybe. So that's fine. That's the um that's the kind of ground and the rocks, right? And then now we're gonna go at the clouds, and then we're gonna do a little bit of texturing over here. And I'm just gonna use a simple brush for the clouds right here. This cloud brush. I'm not gonna. Just gonna smoothen out the blocking that I did earlier. just looks like more cloudy. You know, like it looks resembling like more of a cloud. You know. Because like those edges kind of like can throw people off. Like it doesn't look like a cloud if you have those edges. But again, look, like I'm just painting, you know, like I'm going back and forth with my brush, like um and majority of the time what I'm doing is like I'm color picking the surface and kind of like just going over it again and again so that it smoothens it out, you know. I don't know, people are interested on learning about backgrounds, but they don't seem to be staying too much for this stream. Maybe they thought they want to learn about backgrounds, but then they find this one boring. I don't know. Because like I find this what I'm doing boring, guys. I'll be honest. Like I don't. It looks kind of cool, but I like half of the time I don't know what I'm doing, man. Like I'm just showing you guys the best way to approach background painting as far as I know. Um, you know, now I have that. I'm now kind of like gonna try to add a little bit of like texture and lighting on the clouds. I don't know if it's gonna work. I'm gonna have to add another layer over here. Just so if it doesn't work, then I did not ruin the work I was doing for the past kind of like 5-10 minutes. just a little bit of color to the light, just add a little bit more texture to it. Again, I don't know if it works, I don't know if it doesn't. So now I feel like I'm happy with this simple background, guys. Like, again, majority of what I'm doing is just um kind of like painting over some stuff, painting over with using brushes and whatnot. So it's not rocket science. It's like it just takes practice to kind of like do like more complicated backgrounds. For this one, like I really just want to focus on creating like a very simple background right now that I'm gonna use, right? um Congratulations on what? uh what are you congratulating me for? It kind of it looks like a cloud, guys. It does look like a cloud. So again, so yeah, so this is my very simple background. um what I tend to do is I'm gonna grab all of this one, right, and then I'm gonna put it together in a folder, right, and then I'm gonna copy that folder, and then I'm gonna do a merge selected. So now that I have a copy of that thing, I can probably do a little bit more like filter, blur, Gaussian blur, kind of like blur everything so it like kind of looks a little bit, probably 15, so it doesn't like, it's not, it's good for the eye, right? And then maybe I'm just gonna do a lighten on that one, or darken. Yeah, lighten is good. Just adds a little bit more to it. Then I might do a correction layer, do some sort of color balance. I tend to kind of like do color balance based on the mood. So like I think this is like I'm leaning towards red, magenta, kind of like mood over here. Kind of like I know I already set the color scheme of it and whatnot, but like um I'm not trying to go crazy over here, but like this is where my head is at with this one. Um but yeah, so that's like I do a color balance thing, and maybe I'll do a correction of the levels. Um as well. So yeah, so I have a very simple background for you guys, and yeah, this is how I did it. Um, I'm now gonna put everything in another folder and then call that background, right? Closer to 10k for sure, man, for sure. I don't even focus on that, bro. But yeah, uh, we're just doing some backgrounds right now. Majority of the thing that I did for this one is um, majority of the thing I did is mostly um, what do you call this? Using brushes from Clip Studio Paint and all that stuff. Nothing too special, right? So, you know, it's very easy. I've done that in like 1 hour. I've done this painting in 1 hour. You know, like I utilize all the tools. Does it look like um Makoto Shinkai or like Your Name? Definitely not. But like it works for my animation. So this is what I want to kind of like highlight is you don't need like if you really want a professional thing, like people spend a lot of time mastering their craft, whether that's animation, whether that's doing painter background and whatnot. People spend a lot of time mastering their craft. If you want to do an anime everything by yourself, you gotta need to do a little bit of everything, you know. So if you want to aim towards becoming a background artist, definitely spend all your time just doing that. Like focus is very important, right? But for me, I want to do a little bit of everything. I'm not trying to kind of like master every single thing that's part of the animation. That's not my goal. My goal is to create something from start to finish that works for the projects that I'm doing, right? So this one for me, I'm happy with it. You know, like it has some sort of painterly feel on it. I did my best. That's all that matters, right? Um, Again, I did a little bit of same background over here. Like that's already I already did that like earlier. This background, right? Um, so I kind of know what I was doing before I even went on this one, right? Um, this one is a little bit too color. I want to bring that back up to this one. Yeah, this one seems a little bit nicer, right? So this is literally my third attempt to do it, right? Let me. Yeah. So I think I'm happy with this one. This background, I'm gonna copy it to my uh, to this part over here. So now we're done background. I'm gonna switch my mode to yo. What's up, man? L. What's up, bro? Win background. Thank you, man. So we went from here to here. Like again, simple background, guys. Not trying to be a Makoto Shinkai person, or the person who does painting for Studio Ghibli and whatnot. I'm not trying to be like that. I just want to try to do something simple, because right now all of this one, what I can do is I can just copy paste it to my scene, right? If I literally just do this right now, you can see how it looks like, right? So now our focus is to actually clean up our animation. You know, like we're gonna clean up our animation. So right now, this one is the old background that I did. I wanna kind of hide that, right? Um, Basically, I wanna focus on this kind of like background over here. I think this, like the color of this one is much more balanced rather than the one that I created earlier, right? So this one is more balanced. I like it more. This one has a little bit more style to it, but like I think I'm gonna settle with this one. I don't want the background to pop too much, right? Um, so I'm gonna copy the background and then I'm gonna put it onto my new folder right here. And for here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring back the whole thing at one my what do you call this, my overflow frame being whatever it is, like 2500 by 1750, you know. So Elias, you're welcome. um so that's my rant about backgrounds. I've done the background. I know this is my second time doing it. um Kind of like um second time doing it over a couple of overnight and whatnot. Like I had some practice. That's what I'm trying to say. But then, like, even spending an hour or two on a very simple background, it's all about using the tools that you have, right? Again, I have a very simple background, and the reason why my background is simple is because I want to focus on the character animation, which will now switch um our animation, or title of the stream, to do something like how to clean up your Genga animation. My brother is here.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Brother is here.
Subscribe to this channel. I'm gonna cut his leg.
Yeah, whatever. Playback time would be 5 seconds and 18. This is scene 1, shot 1, clean up. Clean up.
What's on it? You're blessed?
We're blessed.
How do you say your name? Elysian?
What do you say? Got some replies from the director IDM last time. We're going over the recruitment process and considering you, so he'll get back to me in 2 weeks at the latest. Nice, man. If you get a job in the animation industry, that'll be great. Good for you, bro.
If you donate $5, or I need some Pokemon packs.
Don't do it.
Say
So we're gonna cancel. We're gonna delete all of this camera. We're gonna just basically copy the whole camera out from our animation over here, so that we don't have to do everything else. We did a lot of camera movement over here, so like all we need to do is copy paste it. Copy paste. For sure, man. Like, bro, like it'll be very nice. You have the skills, man. Like, you have the skills, and I'm glad you put it out there. People watch it out. People like what you did is very, very nice. You know, like I want you to know that you are a very skilled animator from one animator to another. You know, like and I'm glad that like you're I am I don't want to kind of like take the glory from you, but I'm glad that I'm seeing people that watches me get their own success, because definitely we are doing two different things. I'm a YouTuber, I stream, and there like I really don't want to work for an animation studio or anything like that. But like anyone who has their dream in the animation industry, who shares their dream with me, like basically sharing it, like telling me what their dream is or what their goal is, and have and see that goal be fulfilled, is very rewarding for me, because my audience succeeding is very very important to me. That's why I'm teaching and I'm doing my best to kind of like, oh, do these videos, do this live stream, so that you guys can create something on your own. And I'm pretty sure, bro, like you you hang out with my stream a lot, but like we have a very different kind of style of animating. So like if anything, I could learn from you. But like I really love seeing people succeed, whether they use my videos or not. Like it's just a vibe. I really love that. You know. Of course, man. Like we're out here, man. We're all animators. We're doing our best, and that's all we do. So right now, bro, like guys, like I have this background, right? So I'm just gonna copy that background over here. Like you know what? I'm also gonna just copy paste it, and then because I'm not gonna do anything anymore on this background, like I would just want to kind of like just do a merge, like so that it's just in a one layer. Like I'm not gonna do anything on this background on my animation cleanup process anymore, right? So I'm just gonna put it here, um, and then like put it there right now, right? And maybe I need to adjust the height of it, because it kind of skewed a little bit. So we're just gonna do that, right? So now, like all of these lines that you see are supposed to be kind of like we're gonna clean these lines up, right? These are speed lines, right? um so where's our character? It's right here in the Ganga, right? And then if we turn on the animation of the whole thing, I'm just gonna do as much as I can. I'm actually not feeling well. It's so hot in here. Like it's burning hot, bro. It really is burning hot outside. Like my family is here. I may have to actually stop the stream very soon. Because I achieved whatever I want to show you guys, which is the whole um background painting, right? So right now, the reason why it only appeared one frame is because we just set the whole thing, this whole folder in one frame, right? You see how this background is just in one frame. Just have to put it all the way over here, you know. Yeah, I don't feel like cleaning up these lines, man. If I'm being honest, I don't feel like working at all. It's too hot. But I gotta do what I gotta do. Like I'm really not feeling it. If you ask me, I'm not. Yeah, it's weird. They kind of want to work. I kind of want to play. Like, but I've done my, like, I finished Final Fantasy VII Rebirth like a couple of nights ago. Like, I actually finished the game, which is so nice. Like, it's like such a treat. But man, like, that is something else, you know. So now we have this. You see, like, for me, I'm really happy with the way this background work. Right, we just have to add shadows here and there, but we're gonna do those shadows in kind of like in another layer, sometime later on or something. But we'll see, right? Um, but here, like, it works for this background, right? Um, I can even adjust the ending of the frame for this one, um, just because we got a lot more room that we use, right? So I can do that right now, right here. Kind of like, I think that's really cool. Cancel the playback. So for me, what we can do is to just stop the playback thing from always doing that. Uh, we can just stop that, and then we can add like something over here too. We can add what you call like speed line backgrounds when she rotates her head. Definitely we could do that. Um, so watch out for that, right? So now what I want to do is like just copy this background to all the cleanup frames that I have, right? So for me, I'm gonna have a cleanup frame over here. This looks a little bit weird. The background doesn't fit on it. Let me see if like my background for here, because that is how I painted it. That's what I used earlier. So for me, let me just copy. So I want to see how it looks like, right? Did a very quick background. I think this is better. Like this, the color scheme of this one is way better, right? So now I can just turn the opacity a little bit off, and then adjust the sizing, the way I size them up, right? I can do something like this, or like something like this. Yeah, I can do something like that, right? Definitely helps. So between this background and this background, which one is nicer? I think this is nicer personally. The one that I did on stream versus the one we did off stream. I think personally this one is a little bit like there's character on it, but it also feels a little bit too much on the eyes. I feel like it. This one is a lot more. We can focus on the character more. I don't know, you know, we'll see. But I'm definitely happy with that. And then what I'm gonna do is copy this one on the other background, which is the cleanup of this one, right? So this one, uh, turn that. Oh, I'm just gonna copy. Yeah, see over here. Now what I'm gonna do is actually flip it, rotate it, rotate this background so that it looks better. It fits the scene, you know. As long as I am within the frames that where I'm using it, you know, like I have to make sure that it is within this one, right? So again, like I have this one, but I'm also like, wait, give me a sec. Yeah, no one's gonna know that it's the same freaking background for everything, because everyone's gonna be focused on the animation itself, right? That's the beauty of it. You see? Now, what I wanna do is actually finish the effects animation for this one, because I technically didn't finish it. You know what I mean? Like I did not finish the effects animation for this one. Like I literally just did the whole like you see the ground like coming up and there's nothing there. The grounds is supposed to have the same color as the background, so we're gonna do that right now. So in here we're gonna turn off the Genga. We're gonna do with the um the feel, the red lines over here. It's coming along really well, right? Now we have added the backgrounds. Now I do just have that one frame, that one shot, the first shot, to basically um, clean up, and that's a lot of frames to clean up. So I'm setting it up, um, and then I'm just gonna see whatever I could do for it, you know. So let's go to the C, and then you see all of this one. We don't have the shadows here. We just have, you see all of this kind of like thing right here. If we turn on the Genga, we could see the ground rising up over here, and that ground is basically what we're gonna trace with this red lines over here. And we're just gonna have to use the same, like a darker color of the brush that we're using, the darker color of the background, right? So this one can have a 2.5 color of the red ref lines. Make sure it's closed up. And we're gonna turn off our A layer so we can focus on it. want to spend time with my family right now, but let me just finish this real quick for you guys. My brother barely sometimes doesn't like he lives somewhere else with his fiance, so he kind of like doesn't come often. Like he comes weekly, so that's the time I kind of wanna just hang out in the living room with them. So let me just at least finish this for you guys. Family time is important. I want to make sure that you are spending time with your family. Kind of like this is FX animation, but with background animation involved. You know. Yeah, so that's it. So now I have that set up. What I want to do is to make sure that I have some sort of a color that I like to use that's darker, you know. So kind of want to use this one. Let's see. Um, yeah, something like that. How about this color right here? This dark color over here. That's too subtle. Just a little bit. Yeah, trying to decide which color is the best for this one. Like you don't like you kind of want to still make sure that it looks, yeah, like that. I think that one, yeah, that one looks good for me. So this color looks good. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn off our background and just continue just doing this. Right? It's not a lot, but like, we're gonna have to do a darker color in this one. I kind of want to do the darker color on this side over here. Let's see how that works. No, actually no. L, thank you, man. Thank you for hanging out. Even good luck with your stuff. I wish you well. Yeah. That's like, thanks for the stream and enjoy your time with your family. Of course, man. Thank you. I appreciate you, bro. Some people are hardworking on chat right now, doing the best they can in their own craft. I love to see it. You see, I'm doing a very simple thing, man. Very simple backgrounds over here. Very simple effects animation that you could do your own. Like, you don't need a lot of skill to be able to pull off what I'm doing, you know? Like, for me, it just needs to make sense. That's all. Like, everything that you're doing just needs to make sense, right? Right now, gonna wanna add like a little bit of this color without the red stuff so that it doesn't fall completely black. Here we go. So we turn off that line now, that red line over here, and then we can play this through with the background right here. That's actually very nice. Yeah, that's actually very nice. You know? That whole this whole animation over here, we can add like some kind of like lighting in there. We can, or we don't. Like, because that's gonna be really um that's gonna have an effect later on, you know. I'm gonna kind of like brighten up that animation later on. So I'm gonna have to separate this, the rocks to the light in After Effects, and then do all of that stuff. So yeah. Anyway, I think that's it for me for this stream. It's 140. It's not a long stream, guys. Like, just wanna kind of like just rest. I don't wanna take too long. You know, like I may do my own stuff. Like, just basically just do the rest of my animation like offline. Like this one, I'm gonna do this offline. And then maybe I'll stream tomorrow. Maybe not. We'll see. I don't feel like doing anything at all right now. It's just like it's freaking hot, man. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.